How do church members feel when they can't participate in musical worship? 75% of survey responses are negative and counter emotions, with the top 3 being left out, frustrated, and embarrassed. To me, that's not how saints would feel if they were escorted into God's throne room. To solve this problem, worship leaders have 2 bad options. Number 1, hymnals, which get new songs once per decade, and only about 30% of people can actually read music notation. Bad option number 2, lyrics on slides, which never communicate rhythm and pitch, so worship leaders are constantly worrying about how many times to repeat a part of a song so that people can memorize it. When some people are just figuring it out, other people are already bored. So no matter what worship leaders try, people complain because nothing they can try will actually solve the problem. But you know it could be good because we've all heard those moments where everybody sings along and it's so loud that you can't even hear the choir and the praise band anymore. And worship leaders think it's because they finally picked a song that everybody likes. But the reality is, it's the first time in months everybody's actually known the rhythms and the pitches. Worship leaders need a way to visually communicate rhythm and pitch without requiring formal training. That's where I come in. I have experience both in music, playing my father's trombone from grade school through college, becoming first chair trombone and getting intrigued by music theory, becoming drum major, singing in church praise bands, choirs, solos, and musicals, and running the slides from the background. But I also have experience in technology, an undergraduate degree in physics, studying student satellite design. One of my satellites actually got launched from the space shuttle, and I got my PhD in aerospace engineering. But you don't want PhD engineers designing music notations because history's shown they have a tendency to design things that machines can read, but humans can't. I also have experience in graphic design. From an early age, I was getting awards with my graphic designs. I studied architecture and I was academically trained in visual communication to the point where I actually won awards in architecture, both from professors and from stuff that actually got built. But I dropped architecture because I didn't want to design houses. Professionally, I've studied user experience design. For over a decade, I've been an iPhone developer, taking the latest advances in user experience design, which grew out of art, industrial design, which grew out of architecture, and engineering and psychology put together. In user experience design, we track the total experience of the user, from how they perceive, to how they learn, to how they infer how things work. Because when they get a new app, there's no instruction manual. If they can't figure it out from using it, they stop using the app. So I brought that skill set to visually communicating rhythm and pitch. And that is SingAccord, a patent-pending way to communicate rhythm and pitch. With SingAccord, when people come into a sanctuary, they see something new on the screen. And they hear the praise band and choir start to play the song. Within 2 songs, 85 to 90% of people are able to figure out for themselves, to their own level of musical ability, how it works. Instead of just, turning up the volume until everybody thinks they're the only ones not singing the song, which is why they feel left out and frustrated and embarrassed. When people actually do something together, like singing worship together, they develop empathy, which shows up subconsciously in their lives, increasing their sense of sameness, camaraderie, and community. Side effects of empathy can include decreased divisiveness, increased compassion, and it actually helps heal certain emotional disorders. But don't take my word for it. Go watch 2 demo songs yourself. If after 2 songs you feel like it can help you participate in songs better, then show it to your friends. Don't explain it to them, just show it to them. And don't expect everybody to get everything perfectly. We musicians are trained to have this sort of all or nothing attitude. Either we get everything right or we don't go on stage. But for non-trained musicians who've never heard the song before, that's an unrealistic expectation. From the user experience design field, we know that the simplest features most people will use, and the most advanced features very few people will use. So if you think SingAccord will help a congregation participate in musical worship better, I need your help. 99.99% of congregations will never get the benefits of SingAccord if the worship music publishers don't begin selling their songs in a file format that's compatible with this new technology. In order to take the financial risk to do that, they're going to want to hear from a lot of people. So if you find SingAccord so awesome that you're willing to give an endorsement, or if you'd rather see a test at a one-night service at your church first, contact me at singaccord.com. Let us sing.